taken by a young girl, they called her Maggie May. Oh, Maggie, Maggie May, they have taken her away. She'll never walk down Lime Street anymore. Oh, she robbed those lime juice sailors and the captains of the whalers. That dirty robbing, no good Maggie May. Hi everyone, and welcome back to John Cordry Music. If you're new to the channel, I'm John and I regularly post ukulele tutorials here on YouTube at all different levels. Today we're learning how to play Maggie May, a traditional folk song that originates from Liverpool and is not to be confused with the Rod Stewart song of the same name. It was a very popular song for skiffle bands of the 1950s and was a regular in the repertoire of the Quarrymen, who went on to become the Beatles. A very abridged version of the song with over-the-top Liverpool accents can be found as the last song on side 1 of the Let It Be album. The origins of the song possibly date it back as far as the 1830s, and it portrays the story of a young woman of ill repute who robs a sailor of all his money and clothes after he returns from a round trip to Sierra Leone. It's got a lot of heart and it's perfect for the ukulele. So grab your uke, make sure you're in the standard G, C, E, A tuning, and we'll get started. But just before we do, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps me with making more of these tutorials moving forward. If you'd like a PDF of the song sheet with the lyrics and the chord boxes, buy me a coffee. See how to do so in the description of the video below, and I'll email one over to you. Or alternatively, join me over at my Patreon page, where all my tutorials and accompanying PDFs can be found in one place. The link for this can also be found in the description below. Before we dive into the chords, and there are really only 3, let's take a look at the arrangement of the song. Maggie May starts off with an opening verse that sets the scene of the story and has a slightly different melody and chord progression to the rest of the song. After this opening verse, we get a series of standard verses and choruses that have the same melody and chord structure. So here is the full structure of the arrangement. The chords we'll be using are the 1, 4 and 5 chords in the key of C major, and quite probably the first chords you learn. So firstly we'll have a C or a C major. Then next we'll have an F or an F major. I also tend to use this version of F major for this song, as I like the way that the C notes in the open 3rd string and the 3rd fret of the A string stay constant when changing between the C and the F chords. So either shape is absolutely fine, but I suggest experimenting with both and see which one you prefer the sound of specifically for this song. I'll be using this F-shaped chord diagram for the rest of the tutorial, but please feel free to use the standard 2-finger F chord as well. And lastly, we have a G7 chord, or for its full name, G dominant 7. I definitely vary my strumming throughout this song, but as a guide, I'm generally playing either just 4 down strums per bar, but playing the 2nd and the 4th strum a little louder, and maybe adding the odd up strum here and there. So something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you want a more definitive pattern, perhaps try down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And again, if you can, try and play the 2nd and the 4th down a little louder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. For the opening verse, which is 16 bars long, I tend to just play a single strum on each bar of the first line and then go into the full strumming as just discussed for the second line and the rest of the song. So for the first line we have 2 bars of C major in bars 1 and 2, and then in bar 3 a bar of F. In bar 4 we go back to C. In bars 5 and 6 we have 2 more bars of C, and in bars 7 and 8 we have 2 bars of G7. Sometimes I don't actually play in bar 8 at all, but just let the single strum of the G7 from bar 7 ring through it. In the second line, where I start strumming, we have 2 more bars of C in bars 9 and 10, an F in bars 11 and 12, back to C in bar 13, a bar of G7 in bar 14, and then back to C for bars 15 and 16. So the opening verse would sound something like this. Well, gather round all you sailor lads and listen to my plea, and once you've heard my tale you'll pity me. You see, I was a goddamn fool in the port of Liverpool, the first time that I came home from sea. The first and the rest of the standard verses in the chorus are all 16 bars long and have the same melody and chord structure. The chord sequence for this would be 2 bars of F in bars 1 and 2, then 2 bars of C in bars 3 and 4. In bars 5 and 6 we remain on the C chord for 2 more bars, and then we go to G7 for bars 7 and 8. Then we have 2 more bars of C in bars 9 and 10, 2 bars of F in bars 11 and 12, in bar 13 a single bar of C, in bar 14 a single bar of G7, and finally in bars 15 and 16 we're back to our C chord. So if I just demo the first of the standard verses. I was paid off at the hold from a voyage to Sierra Leone, £3.10 a month, that was me pay. And the jingle in my tin meant that I was taken in by a young girl, they called her Maggie May. As I said before, it's the same melody and the chord sequence for the chorus, so that would sound something like this. Oh, Maggie, Maggie May, they have taken her away, and she never walked down Lime Street anymore. She robbed those lime juice sailors and the captains of the whalers, that dirty robbing, no good Maggie May. So now you effectively have everything you need to play Maggie May, as it's just a repeated sequence throughout. In a moment I'll play through the full arrangement with the chord diagrams and the lyrics on the screen. Please feel free to play along with me. If you find it initially too fast to keep up with, slow the video down. You can do so by clicking on the little cogwheel on the video that can be found in the top or bottom right hand corner of any YouTube video, depending on the device you're using, and then just adjust the playback speed accordingly. Practice it slowly at first and then bring it up to tempo when you're ready. Be sure to hit the like button if you found this tutorial helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more ukulele tutorials. And let me know in the comments if there's a specific song you'd like me to teach next. If you'd like a PDF copy of the song sheet with the lyrics and the chord diagrams, buy me a coffee. See how to do so in the video link below, and I'll email one over to you. Alternatively, join me over at Patreon, where all my tutorials and accompanying PDFs can be found in one place. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Well, gather round all you sailor lads and listen to my plea, and once you've heard my tale you'll pity me. You see, I was a goddamn fool in the port of Liverpool, the first time that I came home from sea. I was paid off at the hold from a voyage to Sierra Leone, for £3.10 a month, that was me pay. And the jingle in my tin meant that I was taken in by a young girl, they called her Maggie May. Oh, Maggie, Maggie May, they have taken her away, and she'll never walk down Lime Street anymore. Oh, she robbed those lime juice sailors and the captains of the whalers, that dirty robbing, no good Maggie May. Well, the first time I met Maggie, she took my breath away. She was cruising up and down Old Canning Place. She had a figure finer than the greatest ocean liner, and me being a sailor I gave chase. Oh, Maggie, Maggie May, they have taken her away, and she'll never walk down Lime Street anymore. She robbed those lime juice sailors and the captains of the whalers, that dirty robbing, no good Maggie May. In the morning I awoke, I was flat and stony broke, no jacket, trousers, waistcoat could I find. When I asked her where they were, she said, oh my dear sir, they're down in Kelly's locker. pawn shop I did go, but no clothes there did I find, and the policeman came and took that girl away. The judge he guilty found her of robbing a homeward bounder, and he paid her passage off to Botany Bay. Oh, Maggie, Maggie May, they have taken her away. She'll never walk down Line Street anymore. She robbed those lime juice sailors and the captains of the whalers, that dirty robbing, no good Maggie May. That dirty robbing, no good Maggie May.